do it live. It's Saturday. I got done from work a little bit early, so I figured I would pop in here and chat with some people for a little bit. Unless nobody shows up, then I'll go to bed. Hey, all right, somebody's here. What's going on, Alex? Thought I would pop on here for a little bit and see if anybody's up for chatting, because, like I said, got done work early and I have no other plans. What's your favorite, who's your favorite white friend besides Mets? I don't know. I don't really see color. I don't know. I don't know. It's mostly just people from, hey, NEWT, shooting for the stars. It was awesome. Hey, man. How you doing? Really, outside of Mets or the people I work with, I don't really see anybody often enough to have, like, actual human interactions. Take my shoes off because my feet are killing me. I was up at our, oh, hey, what's going on, Icy Bird? Yeah, surprise stream. Didn't feel like, doing anything, so watching AEW. Did my job interview last Wednesday, just waiting for a callback. Oh, it's awesome, man. What's going on, Hot Creamy Farts? How are you? All right, we got some people in here. I see all of you guys are as busy as I am on a Saturday night. I was up in our Lancaster Theater today, which is 2 hours away, and then I was supposed to go to our other theater, but I didn't feel like it, so I just came home. Congrats on the interview. Yeah, man, congrats on the interview. I hope you get the gig. Move this forward so I can sit back so my spine doesn't break. Don't get old, guys. Hey there, sexy. What's going on, Horn Dog? Chillin', being lazy? I need a day where I can chill and be lazy. Mets got to flash the camera for gender equality. When are you going to flash the camera? That's a good question. Well, some dude drew me naked, so, well, bottomless. Yeah, I was thinking about going up to, NEWT, did you check the new Last Drive-In? Yes, I loved Mad God. I have a review of Mad God on this channel. It was in my top 5 favorite movies of last year. They showed that last night? Cool. You're watching AEW? Yeah, I'm not much of a wrestling guy, but obviously wrestling is going to become a much bigger part of this channel now with Mets becoming indoctrinated with it. But yeah, Mad God is beautiful and horrifying and brilliant. But I haven't been watching the last few Last Drive-Ins because I'm at home on Friday nights, and they air again regular on Sundays, but I tend to just forget. So I have a couple to catch up on. I was going to go up to the drive-in tonight because VHS Fest, but unfortunately my old crew is there, so I'm not going up there. Have I seen Joaquin Phoenix The Master? Yes, the Paul Thomas Anderson movie. It's really about Scientology, but it isn't. It's River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix, Amy Adams, and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and he's pretty fantastic in it, but the movie does meander a lot. Definitely not as focused as something like Boogie Nights or There Will Be Blood. And then the unfocused effort of the story of Inherent Vice is the point of that. VHS Fest is tonight as well. Yeah, it was last night and tonight, but I saw other people are there, and I'm like, nope. What's for dinner? I had pizza earlier. I had one of our cooks make me a a brick oven pizza when I was doing payroll. It was pretty delicious. But I was there last year. I had a booth last year at VHS Fest. Maybe next year. If I ever get famous, you know. Wish I could have gone to VHS. Yeah, it's fun. I didn't see what they showed this year, but it's cool to be around people and stuff like that. I told my boss, because I've been doing literally 40 years worth of inventory of posters, and I said, dude, you got to get into some of these conventions and shows to sell stuff. Showed my mom Donnie Darko for the first time last night. She liked it. Yeah, it's a movie that's very much open to interpretation. I liked it when I saw it. I haven't seen it in a long time. How much is a booth there? We got our booth last year because we had a big one for like $300. If I could grab the rights to any flop film, would you attempt? Or Forgotten Gem? It's a good question. I don't know. If I was ever going to make something, I would make a sequel to a really bad movie, but make a really good sequel to it. You know, like take like a 50s, you know, or 60s like Z-grade movie and make a really good sequel out of it. Who's a better actor, Jake Gyllenhaal or Ryan Gosling? That's tough because Gosling's great. They're very different. Gyllenhaal is a bit darker. If you ever saw anything like Nightcrawler or Prisoners, he has a whole other side to him. He's also really good in the movie Southpaw, which is the boxing movie. So people have adult films up there. So I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing poster inventory. My boss has stacks and stacks of old 70s and 80s adult film movie posters, and I was like, dude, you got to let me go through these and see some stuff because I have a couple already. I just like putting them up, and it's weird when people come in. They're like, "What is that?" Director's cut helps a lot with understanding the plot. Now, see, I've never seen the director's cut, but I've heard that people don't like it as much because it does explain things, and they like the more vague nature of everything. So, I don't know. I'll check it out eventually. I thought Southland Tales was kind of pretentious, but I enjoyed the overall scope of it. And then he did The Button or The Box or something like that. That one wasn't great. That was based on an old Richard Matheson story, I think. Have you ever tried Snoop's? No, I have not. I've never been to a Jack in the Box. He's good in that. Yo, he's so good in Barbie. It's ridiculous. Have you ever seen the director's cut of Heaven's Gate? No, I have not. Love the photo, Newt. Yeah, that's my senior year photo. Blackening was good. I understand they wanted to release it on Juneteenth, but putting it up against The Flash and Elemental I thought was a bad idea. It's been done for a while. They could have put it out in February, had the same, and had way better results, but because I thought it was a good movie. Holy moly. Yeah, the photo's great. Yeah, I was young and had hope at one point. Now I'm a sad old man. Have you ever eaten Hardee's before? Yes, I did. Hardee's was the official fast food restaurant of Ghostbusters 2. So I've been there a couple times. Would you play the game The Blackening? No. That'd get me canceled real fast. I do like the dude who turns out to be the killer. Is just like, I voted for Trump twice. And they're like, get out of here. Well, one thing about that movie, the prejudice that's real, I have an Android phone, and people are way more racist towards people with Android phones, you know? I deal with that every day. Expect a scary movie was entertaining. Make sure I got everybody's questions. Thoughts on board games? I don't know. I don't really have... yeah, he did look like Steve Urkel. I don't really have... I don't know. I used to play like the Fireball Volcano one and like Hungry Hippos and Crossfire. I don't have the... I don't know. I don't have the patience to play long board games. The only time I've eaten Count Chocula was in October, and my mom would let me in. It used to be around all year, and then it just went to seasonal. I'm just a big fan of, when I first saw the thumbnail of the stream, I thought you were Ross from Friends. Oh, no. The one with the bridge, yeah. Volcano sauce, taco shell. Nice. Yeah, I'm no Ross or Rachel, or who's the other guy? Chandler. I don't know if I've told this story before. I've only seen Friends once, and it was on September 10th, 2001. I fell asleep watching Friends, and I woke up to 9/11. So that's every time I think of 9/11, I automatically think of Friends. During the 90s, did you wear flannel and listen to grunge music? I listened to grunge music, but I've never been much of a flannel guy. I'm always just like t-shirts, jeans, hoodies, I remember that game. Yeah, Brody, I don't know what they're doing with that, because I have the Conan one and the Last Action Hero one. They're each 2 hours long, and they're some of the best movie reviews I think I've ever been part of. And they've been slowly putting them together, and I haven't heard anything in a while from them on what's going on with it. I want to put it up eventually, because I really am proud of what we did on that one. That was in my very, still raw, emotionally kind of vibe. And, we go into some weird places in that interview. You look like the Unabomber psycho? That makes sense. Is there a more sexual game than pickleball? Gaga. We'll go with Gaga, because it's the weirdest one I can think of. Or curling. Let's go with curling. I did not expect to hear 9/11 story on the topic of Friends. It was brought up. Yeah, it's weird shit, man. I don't know. This is how things happen for me. And Metz is working tonight, so Metz couldn't come hang out. But then again, nobody knew I was off work. I got done. I didn't feel like going into the other office and dealing with them, so I just came home. And nobody was returning my text messages, so I was like, fuck it, I'll hop on here for a little bit and talk to you guys and see what's up. Hey, NEWT, what's going on, friendly neighborhood transgender vampire? You're drunk? That's good. It's Saturday, you're supposed to be. What you drinking? Wait, let's see. How's your night going? It's all right. I've been at work all day. Worked late last night. Just working on some IMDb stuff when I got home. Trying to get some credits finished up for people. I got another script to write for Donald Farmer, but I just don't feel like it. Does the bar you have good music? The bar you have, like, in the movie theater, we don't have any music there. The bar next door, I left because it was playing Kid Rock, and I was like, I'm good. Good for you. What are you drinking, though? You didn't tell me what you're drinking to get you drunk. I had one drink earlier. I had a Angry Orchard. Hello, everyone. What's going on, man? Which C-list celebrity male? Are you bringing on Dilf Manor? Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, it's one of those bars. Yeah, the theater bar is just like, it's got a TV in it that always has sports in it and stuff like that, but it's just in the lobby. The staff over there has seen my my Bud Light video. Old Kid Rock, I don't know, it's that cowboy song, so I guess that's Old Kid Rock. Didn't he used to have like a dwarf? Wasn't there like Little Joe or something like that used to always hang out with him? So I kind of remember him being on The Simpsons. Not a huge Kid Rock guy. Joey C? Joe C, okay. Enjoy your death trap, ladies. I only heard the 2 songs, Kid Rock, one on... God damn, man. I haven't thought of Osmosis Jones since high school, and The Crow 3. I was asking Mets the other night if they had seen The Crow before, because I really want to do The Crow, and they hadn't, so... The C stands for cool? I would assume so. I mean, if you're hanging out with Kid Rock. I like that Kid Rock is from Michigan, which is technically the North, yet he always flies the Confederate flag, which is the South. And he was also rich growing up, and I'm like, Devil Without a Cause, okay. How has Mets not seen The Crow? Exactly. I said the same thing. He's like Larry the Cable Guy. He's not even really a cable guy. Yeah, I want to do The Crow, because I've been thinking about that a lot. I had this soundtrack on the other day when I was carpet shampooing at the theater. I remember him being stuffed into a trash can on WWF. That's where he belongs. You haven't seen The Crow, Alex? Oh, man. First one's great. Second one, it's not terrible. Its biggest problem is the lead actor who plays the Crow is no Brandon Lee. Because, like, Iggy Pop's in that movie and Thomas Jane's in that movie. Eminem's from Michigan, but yeah, Eminem also doesn't pretend to be from the South. Like, he represents 8 Mile, yo. Can't rain all the time. No, the first Crow soundtrack has fucking amazing... Oh, I already said that Mets has to do Crow makeup on me when we're doing the review. I'm just going to get super goth by the end of it. Adding The Crow to my watch list. Yes, it's based on a James O'Barr comic book. Really, really good. Sting did have a Crow persona. I didn't know who that was. City of Angels has Rob Zombie doing Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's got Hole doing Gold Dust Woman from Fleetwood Mac. Great soundtrack. Dead Souls, yep. Halloween 3 is my favorite Halloween, hence why I have the original theatrical poster framed in my living room. I gotta go get some more frames, and I keep forgetting. Because by the time I'm out of work, everything's closed. I was like, I still have stuff I gotta frame. I have a big pile of folded and rolled posters in the corner here. I want to clean my living room out, and so maybe one day I'll have women here. I don't know. It's a place I know where the hipsters bedrock twist. Did you ever see the second Flintstones movie? Viva Rock Vegas. The Crow is a better movie than anything Bruce Lee ever did. I don't know. Enter the Dragon, Game of Death, like even, I don't know. As much as I love The Crow, Bruce Lee was an industry within himself. You know, he spawned an entire like rip-off category, like Bruce-sploitation movies. What's your opinion on Crow 3? James O'Barr was pretty proud of that one. That was what? Wicked Prayer? Elizabeth Shue's still sexy. Viva Rock Vegas was meh. Come on, don't disrespect Enter the Dragon like that. Exactly. Well, without Enter the Dragon, you wouldn't have Mortal Kombat. The third one was Wicked Prayer. 3 was Salvation, 4 was Wicked Prayer. And then Rob Zombie wrote one that never got made, and that script was fucking dope. It was like Crow 2099 or something. No Salvation was with Kristen Dunst. One of them was with Kristen Dunst. One of them was with Edward Furlong. The dude who played Angel was in one of them. I know I've seen all of them. I just don't remember them very well. Is The Crow Alex Proyas' best movie? No, Dark City is. Dark City is one of the most underrated science fiction movies ever made. He did do the music for Escape from New York. He's done a lot of movie music. Beavis and Butthead Do America. He did the whole animated sequence. Howard Stern's Private Parts. He did the All American Nightmare song. Ever seen Alpha Dog? Yes, with Justin Timberlake and Anton Yelchin. Yep. I only saw the first two Crows. You're not missing anything beyond that. The dude from Angel is in part 4. So part 4 is the one that takes place then in the one with Edward Furlong. Then I don't fucking know. Did Rob Zombie months make a theme song for the wrestler Edge on WWE Never Stop? Oh, okay. And then Tom Savini made the mask for a guy who's a wrestler now, right? I only remember things that Tony told me, and I was only half listening. Yeah, Rob Zombie's done a bunch of stuff. Right, Elvira? She doesn't care. Movies make me cry. Ben Foster is great in that as well. Eric Morbius, that's it. That's the dude I was thinking of. He was in the first Resident Evil movie. And he gives Mila Jovovich his jacket, and by the end of the movie, it becomes like a lady-sized jacket, like it shrinks as the movie goes. I didn't mind the first Resident Evil movie, but I've also never played the games. It's like Silent Hill. I've never played the game, so I thought the first movie was really cool. Kind of reminded me of a Lucio Fulci movie almost. There's a bunch of movie errors that once you see them, you can never unsee them. I always tell people the one in Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know that Resident Evil, you should play the Resident Evil 2. Yeah, I know that Kieran became obsessed with it. Like, he would get like very obsessed with things and then never stop talking about them. Heard more fallout from too many games. Apparently won't go after him breaking the NDA because he has an alcohol addiction, and he would play that card. Wow. Okay, well, I have a mental health problem. I had a complete and total nervous breakdown, yet they're still trying to ruin my life. What a bunch of fucks, man. Mission Impossible 7 or Dune 2, which is going to be better? I mean, I've heard nothing but great things about Mission Impossible. I'm watching it Sunday night. Dune 2 I'm excited about only because the first one has so much setup. It felt like a 2.5 hour long trailer for the main story, you know? Who has the... Yeah. But no, Dune 2 looks incredible. And I really enjoyed the first one. It's just so wild, dude. It's just all fucking crazy. You know, the mental gymnastics that these people fucking put themselves through only because they got caught red-handed doing something. They've been doing something for a long time. He did the music for the first Resident Evil. I can see that, because it does have kind of a Manson vibe to it. Are we still allowed to like him, or is he canceled? I'm always confused on how that goes. Love the old ones. Never watched the first new one, but I think I might tonight. I've only ever seen Resident Evil 1, 2, and the one that's in the desert. Saw that one. And then one of them starts with like a dream sequence. I remember that from seeing it when I was in the projection booth walking by. I mean, it's zombies. I would have loved to have seen George Romero's take on it. You know, that was the original plan, but they're making a documentary about that. Michael Jackson supposedly wrote the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Oh, that's cool. Thoughts on David Lynch? I'm a big David Lynch fan. Mulholland Drive is a beautiful, incredible film. I went and saw it by myself on my birthday the year it came out. The Hotel Silencio scene, where there's the Spanish version of Roy Orbison's crying, is one of my favorite. Hey, Mondo Creepy, what's going on? Is one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever. But yeah, you know, people get super, super into David Lynch, and I still haven't seen the new season of Twin Peaks. But I do love I love Firewalk with Me, and people say I'm crazy. But again, that one also, it has one of my favorite endings in movie history. We need a Showgirl sequel. There was a Showgirl sequel. It was made for no money, and an actress who was in maybe one scene is the star of it. It's called Showgirls 2: Pennies from Heaven. It's fucking awful. The movie nights, Alison Pregler, she did a review of it. Better singer, Prince or Bowie? Oh man, that's a fucking Sophie's Choice moment right there. They both had I can't even judge that one. Prince could play every instrument, but they both had so much charisma, and their styles were so different. And Bowie especially, because he transformed himself so many times between like Space Oddity and the Thin White Duke and all that, that it's hard because he was always evolving. Raccoon City's getting a sequel. I think Melissa and I watched that one. Is Joyride worth seeing? I don't know. We didn't get it, and I did not go. Good night, Hot Creamy Farts. I didn't go to the press screening of it. I went to the press screening yesterday of Barbie, though, and I thought that was incredible. Have you seen Moonage Daydream? No, it's on HBO. It's on Max, but I do have to see it still. Let's see. Quick few good movies on YouTube, free. Promise not. I mean, I've watched a bunch of stuff free on YouTube. I tend to watch YouTube a lot more, and I have like all these streaming channels. I feel like I'm wasting time. What's your worst theater experience ever? Did you see Indiana Jones 5? Are you a fan? Yes, I loved it, and a lot of people told me I'm crazy. Go watch my review. For the buns. All right. I really, really enjoyed it, and everybody's just miserable about it. And in my review, I basically just talk about, like, I'm just so fucking tired of YouTube movie reviewers because everybody's just miserable for the sake of being miserable, and they have their mind made up once they go into it. And I'm just like, I was told my job didn't get Asteroid City because we had to make room for other movies. That sucks. I mean, I liked... I did watch that review. I did like Asteroid City. His symmetry is incredible in all of his movies. He's obsessed with straight lines. And then you also have everyone has a hot take. That's right. And they're trying to be the most clever and snarkiest in the room. Just means that you didn't actually watch the movie. You were just preparing for the next thing to say, or trying to poke the hole in something. Every frame of Asteroid City looked like a Route 66 1950s postcard, which I thought was really cool. It's just his movies have become so emotionally distant for me that it's hard to get invested in the quirkiness when you can't connect with any of the characters. My favorite of all of his movies is The Life Aquatic. I love that scene at the end when Bill Murray's at the controls of the submarine, too soon, and is like, I wonder if it remembers me, to the shark, and he starts crying and everyone reaches in. I love that scene. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Sup, buddy? Got home from work. Yo, what's going on, man? My hot take is going to be I don't like people with hot takes anymore. But then again, if I went back and I watched episodes of the old show, I'd probably come off like a miserable prick there too, so I have nothing to say. Oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum was good as the alien, though. There's a lot of fun cameos in it. You have a hot taint. You might want to work on that. When you get home from work, just air it out with the fan. Yeah, and Indiana Jones 5 is apparently failing miserably, and that sucks, but the trailer looks like a parody of a Wes Anderson movie. Yes, it does. Two of the other guys in the screening said the same thing, that he's just becoming a parody of himself. I don't believe that, because there is so much craftsmanship in every frame, but it's becoming more about the image than the performance. You're on a 9-day vacation? Good for you, man. Did you and Mets watch No, not yet. Red Door review. I didn't see it. I've only ever seen the first two Insidious movies. I watched the Cinema Snobs review of it, though. You're good and funny, dude. Newt. You got your our hot and spicy takes. Yeah, tired of hearing reviews talk about bad CGI in movies. Reason why. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, it's you're gonna complain about. I shot a. Have you seen any Red Brown movies? Yeah, of course. Red Brown. He's in Space Mutiny. He's in the Captain America TV movie. He's in that Filipino movie, the Predator ripoff one. I've seen a bunch of Red Brown stuff. I shot a review tonight of the movie I worked on, Debbie Does Demons, and in it I was like, I'm just getting tired of film critics who pass so much judgment, and I was like, all right, well then you do it then. See how fucking easy it is to, it's much easier to talk and pass judgment on people's art than for someone to pass judgment on your art, And that's why I just want to start making things and stop talking shit about people's movies and stuff. The Red Door, I think it was fine. Another Insidious, Astral Projection is real. I prefer the Conjuring movies to those. What's the other one? Sinister with the Baba Ghoul or something like that. I'm planning to watch the movie tonight. Which one should I watch? Aqua Teen. Oh, I mean, you can't go wrong with either, but I'm going to go Starship Troopers there. Remember all those people complaining about the movie? Yeah, exactly. And I had a lot of fun. I'm a cheerleader's good with fuck, I can't think. She's on that Russian nesting doll show. Natasha Lyonne. Thoughts on Vincent Gallo? Both. He wished that Roger Ebert would get cancer, and he did. His movie Brown Bunny, his girlfriend gives him oral for real at the end of the movie. Kind of bizarre. Master Shake tattooed on my arm. That's awesome. Yeah, Master Shake was at a NJ GamerCon, I think I was a guest at. I like the ghost movies that are at least loosely based on the hauntings. I'm a fan of Buffalo 66. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I like, again, it's a Christina Ricci movie, so you can't really go that wrong. Not going to lie. I would have my girlfriend do that as well. As someone who's received fake oral sex in 2 movies now, it's interesting. But I guess, it would be even more like you're the director, everyone's looking to you, and you have to perform on camera. And that I'm sure that's very stressful. Have I ever read the Harry Potter books? No, I have not. And I've only seen one of the movies. I saw the one with Robert Pattinson, which is the Goblet of Fire, I think. Yeah, ghost movies are hard to do. Like, my favorite is Poltergeist, obviously. But stuff like, The Changeling, I think is fantastic. Watched a different cut of Brown Bunny later and watched the first. Oh, okay. Talk about the fake oral. So, Abby, who's been on the channel before, her very first scene that she has with me in the Coin Slots trailer, she's going down on me in the arcade, and as she's going down, it's doing the Pac-Man sound, which was kind of funny because her husband was just off screen watching. Do you think we'll ever get a modern or mainstream Cthulhu movie? Kind of did. Underwater, the movie with the Twilight girl, was basically Lovecraftian. Yeah, yup. And the dude who played the bad guy in that was Danger Diabolique. As a Ravenclaw, perfect. I can't see. Oh, okay. I don't know if I'll ever get to all of them, but Plus, that lady's like, if you're super rich, okay, and you have that kind of franchise, like, if you don't like trans people, maybe keep it to yourself, or just talk about it to other people who don't like those type of people, because then you're gonna fuck up all your business stuff. And if we don't know that you're bigoted piece of garbage, then we don't know you're a bigoted piece of garbage, you know? I don't even know what that means. That was like when Johanna from the old channel used to be like, I'm house this. And I said, you're 30-something years old. Scary Movie 2. I only saw the first 3, because the third one was with fucking Tiger Blood. That was also the one. 2 was the one with like, take my strong hand. There's a bunch of good ghost movies. You see Terrified, the Brazilian film? That one's fucking great. Underwater was about Dagon. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I watched it on a plane. Oh, yeah? They all have those now, huh? Okay. What do you think of the Ghoulies movies? I have the Ghoulies poster over here. I prefer the second one. The first one's on Svengoolie tonight, I think. That was Mariska Hargitay's first movie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about J.K. Rowling. I don't know enough about trans people to, as a straight white dude, to have a horse in that race. So, my favorite brand of condoms. I like Skins. She did a shoot with your ex. I'll admit it was hot. Oh, okay. I saw one guy I'm friends with subscribes to the ex's one and sent me a picture, and I was just like, ooh, not a good angle. Okay, good for them, man. They distorted them and used them for to fit their agenda. They did that with Roseanne recently. Like, I watched the whole clip, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what she said. Like, you took that completely out of context. Nobody wants to see me naked, so I'll never have one. There are flattering angles, and there are not flattering angles. You know, and that goes for everybody. If I was doing it, it would be different. But I'm not, because they hate me. I'm waiting to see how long it takes for me to get blocked on Instagram as well. I just noticed that. I'm excited for the new Ninja Turtles movie. Yes, I am, actually. A lot of people were down on the fact that they are voiced by kids. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. He's also dressed like Howie Mandel in the 80s, you know? But they never wear outfits in the movies. Except for in part 3 and 4 they do. What new teenage... Yeah, there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle animated movie coming out that Seth Rogen's producing. And it looks fun. I'm always down for new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Nick Cage, Color Out in Space was the closest adaptation of Lovecraft. Yeah, and that seemed... it's such a weird... like, that story felt unfilmable. You know, there's a Will Wheaton movie called The Curse, which is also loosely based on that story. I have hardwood floors, so it doesn't really matter. He did wear inflatable gloves on his head. I remember. And then he had a cartoon, Bobby's World. And so did Louis Anderson, had a cartoon about him being a kid, but Louis Anderson was horribly sexually abused as a child, so I don't know why you would want that. I mean, so was I, and nobody gave me a cartoon. Well, I mean, kids are teenagers. Their voices sound younger, but I don't know, they're just learning. There was Life with Louie, there was Bobby's World, there was Camp Candy was another one. Rick Moranis was a principal at like a monster high school in one cartoon. Yeah, I love Louis Anderson was great in that. I love Mandy. I have a Cheddar Goblin T-shirt. What's up? What's going on, James? He plays Sex Mom. He's good in Coming to America. He's always good, you know. You ever see the Zach Galifianakis music video with Fiona Apple? That one's pretty good, where he lip syncs. Yeah, I'd love to see him do. Would have liked. Oh, I was thinking there was an Independence Day cartoon in the '90s. I remember there was an animated like CGI like reboot style of Starship Troopers, and then there was Godzilla, obviously, and there was like the Jackie Chan adventures. Yeah, it would be cool if Del Toro could do Mountain of Madness. It was going to be him and James Cameron, and Tom Cruise was going to be in it, but they told him it had to be PG-13. And for anyone who's ever read that story, no, it can't be PG-13. You know. True. Yeah, every teen movie in the '80s, everybody was like 30. Now I'm 42 and I can't play a teenager anymore because I look like a sad man. Most excited for? Yeah, I'm excited to see what Eggers does with that. You do have big shoes to fill between, between, F.W. Murnau, and then, who did the other one with Werner Herzog? Sorry, my brain is not working tonight. What's the sound? Were you around when the nerd shot with Gilbert Godfrey? No, but I remember that day well because I remember what happened. But no, anytime that they had like celebrities around, I wasn't allowed to be around. Thoughts on the rumor that James Gunn's supposedly being made the successor of Kevin Feige before being fired at Disney? Oh, really? That'd have been interesting. Don't forget Shadow of the Vampire. Yeah, that was more like tongue-in-cheek, like alternate universe take on that. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mouth of Madness. That was the first Carpenter movie that I saw in theaters. What happened that day? So Gilbert Godfrey was not in good health, and yeah, not I know. So Gilbert Godfrey was not in poor health, and the studio they had to go to YouTube in New York to do it, and that day was like minority representation YouTube thing. So they had all these classes in there, and they took the one that they had booked to shoot the nerd episode. So they made them go up into where the Young Turks film, and it was apparently like up this like little narrow staircase. And James is afraid of elevators, so they had to walk it. And like Gilbert Godfrey was not doing well on that walk. I got to hear all about that afterwards. I don't know. I just wasn't. A Shaq Fu movie would be awesome. That'd be pretty fucking cool. Dreamcatcher with the shit weasels. That's a weird fucking movie, but he wrote it in a weird time after he was run over, so it makes sense. Yeah, he did actually have cancer at the time, so kind of sucks. I mean, it wasn't their fault, but that was YouTube's fault. I got all the dirt. Wait, James is... Yes, he's extremely afraid of elevators. I wasn't there, so I don't know, but I've seen the Young Turks before. I hope Richard Stanley can finish the Holy Trinity of Lovecraft. Yeah, Dunwich or Shadow over Innsmouth. So they made Gilbert walk the stairs because of James. It's kind of the impression that I got from the story. But yeah, I would love to see him, since he was cleared of, them trying to cancel him get back to doing one. Oppenheimer. I'm excited to see Oppenheimer. It's going to be an investment. So next Thursday is the press screening of Oppenheimer and Haunted Mansion. And unfortunately, I drew Haunted Mansion as the movie that I have to go screen. So I'm going to miss seeing Oppenheimer early. Yeah, I'm not like if I'm gonna die on an elevator or an airplane or whatever. It's like I was gonna die anyway. Who fucking cares at this point? You know. And the story of Oppenheimer is like sad and terrible. So I'm interested to see how he does it. Uh, I can imagine James and Gilbert being stuck in the elevator. I don't know. I would think being stuck in there with some of those other people would be hell, not those two. Loving an elevator, living it up while you're going down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any irrational fears of. Metz is terrified of heights, which is really funny because when we were at the convention in Atlantic City, the my producer got us like the biggest suite there, and we were on the top floor. And Metz was freaked out the entire time that I was out on the deck with Justin Silverman when we talked that one night. So that was pretty funny. Metz is terrified of heights. So I didn't have to worry about her jumping out the window because I knew she wouldn't do that. The only thing I'm terrified of is dying alone, but that's inevitable. You won't fly? Either will Brad Jones. When I had to bring him in for too many games, I had to pick him up from the train station, and he literally was on a train for 24 hours because he doesn't want to fly or scared to fly. Yeah, I was told that they all showed up to their work that night. I was about to type something very mean. Shoot, happiness, keys. So no Mets to inside the. No, probably not. Not going to go up in the arch. You know. He doesn't understand why people don't like the loud audio in his movies. The mix is weird, and I understand what he's trying to do, but like, even an auteur has to adapt to the modern audience. You know. I need to ask Mets if they left a good tip. That's a good question. I don't know. No, they did walk around like they owned the place. I was sent pictures. If I'm going to die in a plane crash, why scream and cry about it? Just sit back. Yeah, exactly. YouTube has Over the Edge on it. Ooh, somebody read my answers to those questions. That episode's awesome. Batman the Animated Series. I love when Batman's fighting Bane and he just like accepts the fate there. It's pretty awesome. It's like it doesn't even matter. I don't know. I always try to tip well. Hey, you ended up streaming. Yes, I did. I was saying earlier I got home from work and nobody was around to hang out. So did they yell this to have no pictures while we bowl? Nobody knew who they were, so I'm sure that upset them. Actually, no, that would probably upset my old show more if people didn't know who they were, because they go places just so people say you're that person. I've seen it. Nobody ever recognizes me. When I was on Underbelly, a girl recognized me in, a girl recognized me in line at the DMV, and then a dude recognized me on the subway in New York, and that was the only 2 times people have ever recognized me for anything. I do remember that, Neo. That makes sense. During a trip to Central America, I went up the mountain in a van that had no seatbelts. I was terrified to say the least. Yeah, I can imagine that. Oh, hey, man. Thank you. Thank you, David. I heard a story about Van Damme where he tipped $100 and the waiter didn't want it, and he was very confused. Oh. I was going to watch Blade Runner for after the stream. I got to go back and watch the sequel again. I really liked it when it came out, and then I haven't gone back and seen it again. When I cleaned airplanes, I had to place a book under the seats. Yeah, I guess you never really think about that. A girl I went to high school with is a stewardess. I once met Mark Hamill. He was really nice, but he didn't say it wasn't. Oh no. But I mean, that's true. James almost died. I have not watched that episode, but I've heard about it from people, and I do have to see it at some point. You know, there's just so many times where I just went like, why are you guys trying to make him look bad? You know, where are the guardrails? And yeah, I didn't like the Batman and Robin artwork, especially on the Joker. No, I agree. I didn't like the more simplified versions of the characters. I didn't like that the Joker was made more simple. I didn't like just the black eyes. You know, I know that they wanted to go with a different vibe and stuff like that. I did like just the gray with the lone bat symbol, but the Batman the Animated Series is like, that animation is just iconic. And when they moved it over, while some of the stories were still good, it didn't feel the same. Dude, the Arkham games. The only time I've ever been around the Arkham games was one time I streamed with Tony and he played it. I wasn't allowed to play it. Once you hit those millions, you forget that. I was like, yeah, right, man. If I get to 12,000, I'll be happy. You know, thankfully the Bud Light video helped me grow a lot. And again, that's why I'm trying to have like guest reviewers on to do stuff, because if I can get them more subs, then I feel like I'm doing something with the following that I do have. But you know, I'm never gonna. I gave up a long time ago thinking I was ever gonna like turn this into something more than it is. You know, I had a really good conversation with a guy last night who had some ideas for the channel and some critiques, and I agreed with him on all of them. You know. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that kid when I was buying a new cat litter box. Yeah, he said he wanted to be like us, and I was like, don't do it. More Halloween stuff. Yeah, I have not gone. So there's not really a lot. Even though I live in the city, there's not a lot of retail places around here. So I got to go like out into the burbs to find like a Target or something. But I definitely, you know, we're getting closer to that time of year where Halloween stuff comes out. What's up, NEWT? I hope you're well, Roy. How are you tonight? I didn't have anything better to do, and I figured at least somebody would be online. So here you guys are. We're all sad together. But back to work tomorrow, and then Monday. Tuesday, I got to be up at our other location. Wednesday, I'm in our regular location. And then I think Thursday, I'm going to see Mission Impossible a second time in IMAX with Lana and Dave, who've been on the channel a couple times. Sunday night, I'm going to see it first time at my theater. And then Thursday morning, I'm seeing Haunted Mansion. Yeah, so I've got something to do every day. And I got to shoot my Barbie review and put that up next week. How was Mission Impossible? I don't know yet. I'm seeing it Sunday night or Monday night. It depends. The Lonely Perv Brothers. Got that right. I was talking earlier to a friend of mine who's an adult film actress about trying to get her paid for a movie she did that the dude didn't pay her for. So I got to get in the middle of that. Thinking about seeing Indy again. Worth seeing again. I've seen it 3 times now, actually. The Golden Dew, that is Fireball is calling. Oh, okay. Who? Nadia White. You're going to record some voiceover stuff tomorrow? That's cool. I got to do some ADR lines for XXXmas. I will pay her. She'll kick your ass. She wrestles, and she's a professional hot dog eater, which I'm sure goes in handy with the job. But yeah, she worked on a movie that I wrote, and the director didn't pay her the proper amount of money, so I am getting in the middle of that and trying to resolve it for her, because, you know, I want her to come be in my stuff, because, you know, she's cool and we have a good time. So you'll be working tomorrow through Thursday. I haven't had a day off since I moved here. I've just been trying to get out of the office earlier, especially on Tuesdays, so I can come stream. I'm going to try to start doing the same time every week and giving them a proper name so people can find them and stuff like that. I had a long conversation last night with a guy who had a lot of really good ideas on how I can start to kind of build a bit more of an audience. Is that Ken? I don't know. That's a good question. The Ryan Gosling as Ken is fantastic in Barbie, though. I couldn't find any of the Discord links. I'll post them in here again when we finish streaming. Thoughts on the movie Mallium? I've never heard of that one. Who's in it? When did it come out? And I love the Reanimator movies. I'll wrestle. That's fine. Let's do it. You know, I thought we would be in the studio by now, but it's still, the construction's not done because I want to do the other show where I bring in ladies and we do my new review show idea. I started watching Fleabag. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but the girl, she looks like my friend SJ, and my friend SJ lives in England now, and she said people all the time tell her that she looks like her. I know Walmart is showing it. Okay. Walmart shows movies? I don't know. Dirty and Nerdy will be back? I don't know. I don't think so. I keep worrying that anything I try to do that person used to be involved with, I'm just going to get more grief from. So I'm trying to be careful. I have a very, very small part in the new Larry Fassbender movie. Oh, that's awesome. And if you are not subscribed to Mondo Creepy's channel, she's awesome, and she's a horror host, and she knows all kinds of shit, and is an actress and a model, and is funny, and you need to go and subscribe to that channel right now, or I will not be your friends anymore. Yeah, probably just rename it. Yeah, I was thinking about that. So I don't want any more trouble with those guys, you know? But what's the new Fassbender movie? Do you like Mad God? Yes, they were talking about that earlier in the stream. It was my third favorite movie last year. I think it's just a work of insane, beautiful brilliance. I have a review of it on this channel as well. It's a werewolf film. Oh, sweet. Gotta love werewolf movies. Oh, that sounds cool. No, I've never even heard of that one. Regal's doing a 7 p.m. showing of Monday of Mission Impossible. Okay, yeah, I was working on our projectors the other day because they're kind of patchwork together, and the times are wrong on both of them. So I was able to get that fixed the other day. So now the key will unlock earlier so I can watch Mission Impossible, hopefully Sunday night. But it's super long. Oh, Walmart's sponsoring it. Does Walmart still have those big bins of DVDs? I haven't been to Walmart in a long time. The new websites that publish all the movies coming out during the year that isn't studio releasing them. Yeah, if you go to IMDb and go to the upcoming release slate, it's got indie films and mainstream films. I'm trying to get all the schedule together for the dates that the movies I wrote are coming out, so I can start to get that all put together. Because I know that Debbie Does Demons is out. It's already sold out again from Culture Shock. Shark Exorcist 2 is coming up soon. That's going to get a big release. I'm trying to have shit to talk about, so it's like, oh look, I'm actually accomplishing something. I don't even know what other movies are coming up this year. Oppenheimer, Love You, Newt, Newt World Order. Just subscribed. All right. They owe you a burrito. Meg 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. They made a Meg 2. Totally forgot about that one. Picked up a couple of Street Fighter Power Rangers. Oh, that's cool. I want to go look at toys. I never get a chance to. Mondo Creepy is super sexy. Horn Dog, you know me. Everyone I associate with is beautiful women. But her show's actually good too. It's not just empty reading notes from IMDb. Like, she actually knows what she's talking about. I especially love your Kathy's Curse episode. Not just because that movie's fucking bizarre Canucksploitation. I need to learn your secrets. It's no secrets. I used to have game at one point. That was at the funeral service last Sunday. My ex's mom was like, I don't get it. Like, why are there, between my daughter and the other two girls are here, why do beautiful women flock around you? I was like, I don't know. Can you put a link to her channel? Yeah, I'll put that in here as well. Oh, okay. What's going on, Matt? I never know who I'm talking to when it comes to your channel. Oh, thank you, Variety Vendor. I was never allowed on rental reviews, but I wrote all their notes for them. And rental reviews only happened because the guy who used to be my director of Underbelly would not sell to Screenwave. So when that went away, they told me I would be on that show, but then I never was. Company of Wolves. That's a good movie. Saw the trailer for Meg 2. Thought it was from a couple years ago. Yeah. Because usually because you and I have talked on like Instagram or Twitter all the time to kind of, and I'm always like, okay, it's somebody different. I never know who's, Okay. Good to stay busy. I need you to get me Asia Carrera's number. I think I've told that story before, that she used to date my friend Steve Mezzo, and Steve Mezzo is like, he's a big guy, but when in the 80s he was, okay, that makes sense. I mean, your job's got to come first. This stuff's fun, but but yeah, Steve Mezzo used to be an Adonis in the 80s, and he dated Asia Carrera when she was in high school. And when I found that out, I fucking blew my mind. I haven't had a chance to really shoot anything other than just like sitting in my living room type of stuff because of work and all. I miss it. I want to be shooting stuff so badly. Let me get Steve Mezzo's number. He might get upset by that. Okay, what movie, if you're allowed to say? You notice the shirt? Couch occupant. Wait for Ghostbusters 4. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. I've rewatched, yeah, me too. I rewatched Ghostbusters Afterlife like twice over the last week, and I like it even more now than I did in the theater. Yeah, it sucks, man. I'm like going stir crazy because I want to be filming stuff, and I found myself getting jealous of my old friends because they're doing things and at conventions and growing their brand, and I'm just kind of like standing still, Okay. That's cool. I know I've had a couple of my trailers on Mondo Creepy in the past, because I know I have IMDb credits from you guys. But again, I wish I was shooting more stuff to have more things to let people show. I'm trying to get together the scene for Donald Farmer. Yes, I saw that she's that they're bringing all them back. Did you see there was a picture of Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, and Jennifer Garner's daughter, and Ben Affleck's DNA didn't even bother because she just looks like Jennifer Garner. It's creepy. Of course, I want to shoot more. I really want to reshoot any of the stuff that had like the old people involved in it, but they just haven't had time and money to do that kind of stuff. SNL is my favorite show. I hope so. That's right. Saturday NEWT Live. That's right. No, I'm getting, burned out of writing stuff for other people and not making my own stuff. That's smart man. Let me know if you need help. I will for sure. The guys, those LA producers who had me write that movie Scissors for them. They really liked my first draft, and then they changed what they wanted it to be. So then I wrote another draft, and then they were like, hey, we need to take out all the homosexual stuff. Even though the producers are gay, and they wanted to make a pro-LGBTQ slasher movie. So then I had to take all that out, and then they wanted to change the gender of the main character. So I wound up doing 6 drafts before they finally agreed to literally just go back to the first draft. So that was a little bit frustrating. He does always look tired. But so do I, but I'm no Ben Affleck. Although I did meet him once. Yeah, exactly. And that's, oh, thank you, man. That's the hardest part, is when you're doing stuff for other people all the time. But honestly, I keep telling myself that after everything that happened and everybody thinking I'm a plagiarist for the rest of my life, the fact that anybody hires me to write stuff is great, you know? I did have the Barney idea first. Oh my God, don't even get me started, man. That was and that was inspired by the R-rated Power Rangers fan film that came out. Tell the Ben story. He was the bomb in Phantoms. No, I managed the Berlin Diner in Berlin, New Jersey, and they filmed the scene of Jersey Girl there. So I was like there that day just to be able to open doors for them and all that kind of stuff. Kevin Smith was super nice. Ben Affleck was super nice. I didn't realize how fucking tall he is. And what's her name from Lord of the Rings, whose daughter from Aerosmith, she was really, really nice as well. But yeah, that was a cool day to be around those guys. And he was making Daredevil at the same time. So that was kind of cool for him to like talk a little bit about that. Go right to jail for the pun title for this. Well, you know. Yes, I did have highlighted hair. Liv Tyler, that's right. I had red highlights. I had blonde highlights. I had full blonde hair. My ex, Christy, dyed her hair blonde, and she wanted me to dye my hair blonde, so I let her do it, and she burned my scalp so badly. Slutty and nutty. Be a squirrel. How do you know? I don't know, man. I'm at a point where it's just like, just do it. Just take their, you know, even with Fallon, with Sucks to Suck, like, I didn't like the direction it was going in, but I was just like, whatever. Just do it, you know. I wonder if the Daredevil movie would have been different. Yeah, because the director who went on to do Ghost Rider, I don't think he was the right person for that job. But also the CGI wasn't there at that point, and the studio wanted Spider-Man, but Daredevil is so tonally different than Spider-Man. Yeah. I have a couple people who want to do X-rated reviews with me, a couple of my lady friends. It's just been a matter of just figuring out when and all that kind of stuff. Metz is all like, well, I'm going to be topless during it. I was like, all right, let's relax. Yeah, I love this stuff that Kevin Smith made with, sorry about such, it's all right. I mean, I still have, I shot my scenes. I don't know what's going to happen with it from here. Just my writing style and what she was looking for were just very, very different. So, a lot of my jokes didn't land with the, I don't know, with the feminist vibe that she was going for. I thought we were going for a little bit more of like a, you know, I don't know. It's what happened to Sucks to Suck. It's still happening. I shot my scenes. I'm just not part of it anymore. So I'll still be in it, you know. Adapt and overcome. That's right. And we got a bunch of shit, you know, that's coming out. The guys who I wrote the Scissors script for asked me to rewrite something else. They just haven't sent it to me yet. I've got, what's coming out? Shark Exorcist 2 is coming out. Bigfoot Exorcist is coming out. Cold of Blood, Strange Toys, River Beauty are all coming out. I wrote all those. All of them have picked up distribution deals. It is, and but it's also like, that script is so. I did too, but it didn't become that. You're trying to write a character, but then you realize that it's really just a vanity piece, and me trying to make her a lovable schlub with bad luck who has to overcome it was not what she wanted. She wanted them to already be the Mary Sue, basically. So, I wrote the cult scenes and my own lines, and I thought that was a lot easier for me to do. And then she also didn't like that I would ad-lib stuff because it took the attention away. Roll with it, adapt, darling. Yeah. Yeah, I know. And my biggest thing is just, again, keep my mouth shut because I'm just lucky that anybody's asking me to do anything. I've already been blacklisted by so many people that, Metz is an exhibitionist. And when I was their boss, I would always be like, yeah, no. No, Fallon is stupid hot. Like, incredibly hot. And we're still friends. It's just like it didn't work out creatively there, but she sounds like the crap you were thrown out of. Yeah, Dems the breaks, man. I'm writing a part for her in the Amityville thing that Donald Farmer asked me to do, so I want her to play like the leader of the Galactic Samurai Schoolgirls, which was something I shot. That script was originally something I shot for Hack the Movies, but he never finished it, and they deleted all the footage, so it's mine. Oh yeah, you got not the horror one. Familiar but fun. Okay, when I heard Joyride, I thought it was the one with Paul Walker. It's and Ted Levine is the voice of Candy Cane or whatever. Exactly. What am I gonna do? Go home and stop? Even if I'm blacklisted by everybody and nobody will work with me anymore, I'll still keep trying to make shit on my own. There'll be some sucker who will still come play with me. Not many. And things have it's a free spirit. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like the Paul Walker one. It's with Lily Sobieski, who's fake Helen Hunt. Rusty Nail, that's right. And Candy Cane was them because they pretended to be a girl. They ripped that fucking dude's jaw off. I want to be making things more and have stuff to show because then I won't worry about when people say stuff. It'll just be like, well, look, I've done this. Have I seen Come Play? I don't think so. I wonder who would take you as a guest on a review. No one. Like even little channels are like afraid for me to do reviews with them because of those other guys. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all, Tyler. It's always good. Metz is my body man, basically. Like if they were like, there's ever a problem, I got it. Nerds are Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy. The Uno deck will play some Jenga. I'll work with anybody who wants to work with me, man. Metz is cool. Metz is one of my favorite people. Started out as my employee and was really one of the few people who was there with me when all that stuff was going wrong. Like Metz was there the night that Crystal sent me that email. And I owe Metz a lot for sticking by me when all these other people didn't, and yeah. I'd love to do a review with me. Why not? I like your reviews. I always leave comments on your reviews. And you also don't want to be on Metz's bad side. But I appreciate that they come hang out here on Tuesdays with me because it's not a short drive. And then, and just getting to introduce my friends to you guys is really cool. I did find, so apparently I thought they were lost. I have 2 reviews that I shot with my friend Christy, who passed away, and I'm going to try to get those edited together because I was so happy to find out that those still existed and put them up. Spawn a Spenguli audition. That'd be kind of cool. I'd love to do a horror host show. No. Mets isn't going. Mets is not going to go anywhere. You know. Oh, thank you. No, it's I would have never been allowed to work with these people because it was a struggle getting Crystal on the other show. If you go back and watch her first appearance was the Addams Family one. That was a fight to get that together, and then they all just pretend like oh, you had nothing to do with that. Phil Noble's a bunch of other people blocked me. I remember you saying that Phil Noble blocked you guys. Yeah, there's weird people who blocked me. I'm blocked by Donald Trump Jr. because I told him that he looks like date rape Dracula. Who's the next horror host? I don't know. There's so many now. It's really grown over the last few years, especially with the internet, where anybody can have one. I used to be closer with Mr. Lobo. I'm not anymore. I'm glad that Svengoolie is getting popular again. Yeah, basically, Neo. And then they didn't like her, and they used to make excuses for her not to be around. But now they pretend like we didn't say that. NEWT did, and I was like, I have the emails. But yeah, I like that Svengoolie is doing stuff. Well, that's true. Yes, she is the next big horror host. Maybe I should write a movie about horror hosts that all have to get together. It's like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen of horror hosts. Because I let myself be. That's the problem. I had too much trust in people, and I'm unfortunately all heart. And that's the problem. Is sometimes I'm not thinking logically. I'm letting either my dick or my heart take the wheel, and that's a bad idea. But it is. I was seeing Knives Out script idea with horror. That'd be cool. Or Clue. Yeah, they do. And that's why I'm more guarded and why I don't, I don't allow people, never blame your little head. Ain't nothing little about it, homie. That I don't let people get close to me anymore. I'm like a Wes Anderson movie. I'm like distant. Thoughts on Alex Cox, the filmmaker. What has he made? What happened to me recently? I lost. Oh shit! I'm sorry. It needs to be multiple restraining orders. Oh, Sid and Nancy. Okay, and Repo Man. All right, both are great. Sorry, I didn't know the name. Great films. Sid and Nancy was the first time I ever really noticed Gary Oldman in anything. And Repo Man's a lot of fun too. David, I'm sorry to hear that. It's never easy to realize that you're the one who made things this way, and that's why I broke down about the Christie video. Was just the idea that we waste so much time not thinking about the future. And, there are people who are playing 3D chess at all times. I'm not one of those people. I'm like a dog. I'm like, this moment is the only moment, That's bad. It's not a good way to live. But my therapist is helping me with that. When it comes to the horror host movie, I have been thinking about just saying fuck it and just making Amityville Video and just doing one where it's a horror host and then each segment is just like a shitty VHS thing and just being like, who cares, Those movies get picked up for nothing. Wow, every 5 years. Some people, I used to be obviously best friends with Justin Silverman. We'd known each other since 2002. Same year I met Christy, but obviously she passed. I met Crystal in 2007. I I've been friends with that guy Kevin since 1993, but he and I aren't really close. I feel the same way. I miss my older. Yeah, Tyler, I know about you and your friend. It sucks, man. It. Some people it's easy to move on from. Like, true. Some people it's easy to move on from. And what up? Nothing much. Brian, how are you doing? It's easy to like. Some people just get left behind, and that's fine. But then there's other ones that like you think about them a lot, and like I'm never gonna miss my old host. I'm gonna be angry at him forever for things, but I'm never gonna miss being his friend. You know. Brian, you still at the theater? How was it like dating Crystal? Funny stories or other than the UFO story? Um, we were close, man. We were very, very close for a very, very long time. And even after she was seeing somebody, we were still very close. I was her first, but it's people don't last forever. I never once thought that that would happen, but it did, and that's where we are. Um, it's better ending on good terms than bad terms. Yes, I agree, and that's basically what I've been trying to do with people is apologize and at least get good terms on people, because you don't want people out there hating you. Even me, I'm a dick, but I still don't want people to hate me. You know, yeah. I thought we were closer. I took him. Like I took him out for his birthday and paid for everything and would hang out with him and would help him at his place. But I was just, I was just helping the show, not, 2009. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, I know full well what it's like to trust the wrong people. Everything in my life basically fell apart the first time in 2006 when I found out I had cancer. That's when kind of my friends that I had in my life I had kind of stopped, and then I had to create something new. And that's when I met Crystal, and that's when I got back into running theaters and stuff. So it was like 2007 to like 2012 was part of that world. And then I made the mistake of moving to Arizona when I used to date Justin's sister and lost a lot of people there, and then had to come back with my tail between my legs and put it all together again. No, no, Neo, it was um, sharing the spotlight isn't easy with certain people. And I didn't, I'm not one of those people who wants to be the center of attention with this kind of stuff. I was second banana on that. You have some great love conquest, though. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have outkicked my coverage for a very long time because I'm ugly. But I've known some beautiful women in my time. Um, even my one of the ones who still talks to me is the other Christy. She looks like Natalie Portman. She's the girl in the Paperboy 3 video, and she lives in Seattle now. She's a therapist. Her husband works for the Seahawks, but she and I talked for like 4 hours the other night on FaceTime. And she's one of those people that whatever. She's one of those people that I've given many reasons not to stick around, but she's always been around, and it's a real love there. Like she's married, she has a kid, but we still tell each other that we love each other. But so did Crystal and I when she was with somebody. Happens to like Ultraman. I love Ultraman. Um, no, I haven't. Everything since that the since the Screenwave thing has really taken a toll on my self-esteem. So I don't have the same kind of vibe that I used to have with women. It's just I'm not looking to flirt with people or anything like that, Most of the time I need to pay them. What's the line on Aqua Teen Hunger Force? It's like, I've never had consensual sex without money changing hands. But also, I don't know, I come to find out that certain people are only in it because I can get them to the next level when it comes to acting or being on stuff. So that, that it sucks to find that stuff out, but in the time in which we had, I knocked the doors off those places. So, because I hear Metz tells me all their sexual escapades, which are insane, and makes all mine sound tame by comparison. I've done wild things, but not as wild as what Metz does. Healthier and happier, yeah. I mean, it's different. It's very different. Well, yeah. No, he's not. I saw him at the funeral, and I actually I got upset. I'm glad I'm not into sex. Me either. I mean, I am, but yeah, that was fucked up. That's one of the most fucked up things that anyone's ever done, and that they don't think that there's anything wrong with that, It was, and it also, that person who I was becoming friends with. It was just a matter of wanting to be friends with people, wants nothing to do with me because of that, I don't know this restaurant story. Okay, so I was fired in October. In November, a young lady who was friends with all of those guys, they used to hang out at Barcade all the time. She was really interesting. She was into a lot of the same literature that I am and stuff. So we were talking, and she was like, well, do you want to get together and go get sushi one day? And I was like, yeah, fuck, let's go. It's the first time I really was with people since all that stuff happened. So we went to a sushi place that was near where the old office was. They found out that I was there and took a picture of me inside the thing and shared it in a little group chat that Justin, Kieran, Tony, Johanna, Crystal, all them had together making fun of me because Cammie, Kieran's ex-girlfriend, told me all about it. And then when she heard about that, because I told her about it, just to be completely open, she was like, hey, I don't think it's a good idea if we see each other again. I was like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Wes, your stories. To quote Don't Be a Menace, sex, yes, please. I do have a cool poster wall, and this is just some of them. My entire apartment is all old framed movie posters. I don't have everything up yet. You got the craziest stories. That was a weird one, the dead body story, but I've seen a couple of them. I don't know. I have a couple stories that are hilarious and weird, but I'm afraid to tell them because culture has changed so much, and I don't want to get, I don't know how some people will take them, but I've told them to Metz, who is, is trans and open to, and part of the LGBTQ community and all that kind of stuff, and very, woke, really. And they didn't think it was a problem, but the dead body story, I bet that was a crazy one. Networking on the internet age is anything. I was a fan of. Yeah, it is crazy. And again, they cut their entire production department, Psycho. So he's signed to the channel still, but they still pay for him to go to conventions and all that kind of stuff. And Kieran is editing stuff for them now. So you can say whatever you want about the owner of the company and trash everything and still be okay with them as long as you're not me. what did you talk about? Oh, a dead body. So, um, uh, Tony only reads super chats. That's fucking lame. That's really fucking lame. Like, I'm always scared that I'm gonna miss somebody's question or comment, because then it's like I'm not paying attention to people, when I'm like super fucking happy that anybody is in here watching this nonsense. But as for the dead body story, there's a couple of them. So when I was 16 years old, I was working at an AMC theater in Marlton, New Jersey. The night manager is supposed to pull the chains. It was back before automation was automated. So they had to pull the chains to make the movie from flat to scope. And a guy had passed away of natural causes in the theater. Nobody bothered to check the theaters. And when I came in the next day, I found a dead guy. Another time, I was leaving the movie theater seeing one of the Wes Anderson movies, the one about the hotel, and a dude was like flashing his high beams behind me, and he was like swerving back and forth, and he went to go around me, and he hit the median where it like goes up the thing where they put those like barrels, and he was fucking dead, like just straight up dead. And I jumped out of my car and ran over to him, and like it was fucking crazy. And then I'm like calling 911 and stuff. A dude at the Anthony Wayne Theater. It was a Friday night. Metz was working. Metz was there that night. I was in the lobby changing the paper towel dispenser thing, and it sounded like a gunshot went off, and I like froze. I ran out front. A guy drunkenly fell off the curb and got his head run over. Like, it looked like the Toxic Avenger scene. And I went running into the street with this guy, Brandon Brooks, who was my assistant manager, and we're like trying to block traffic, and people are like slowing down and taking pictures. And that was really what I was just like, people are fucking disgusting, you know? But the one that everybody tends to know is the one where when I lived in Arizona, we were closed for a health code thing, and I guess a guy tried to climb over where the dumpster was, fell, and was like accordion. Like his neck was broken, and his body was like this over the dumpster. So I had to like send everybody. Well, it's got dark real fast. I know, right? I had to send everybody home because I was like, there's a fucking dead dude back here. One more dead person story. When Crystal and I went to Arizona in 2017 to be guests at the Tucson Comic-Con, my apartment building where I used to live in South Jersey was 3 floors. I lived on the bottom floor, and there was one guy who lived directly across from me, and he used to be the Tampa Bay Lightning's social media guy. And I'd only seen him a couple times. He did tell me once that he was gay, but he has sex with female prostitutes to remind him why he's gay, and I didn't quite understand where he was going with that, but whatever. So my dad was watching the Cat when I went away, because it's right when I got Elvira and Tor, and so the dude must have died in his apartment, and my dad went around to the washer and dryers there, and he smelled something, and yeah, the dude was dead for a while and was decomposing. I used to be a Tony fan from Rental Reviews when it was fun. Oh, I appreciate that, Horror Cat Dad. When I went to Cuba, there was a guy laying in a chair with sunglasses on. Oh my God. The big gay. I mean, seeing a dead body is one thing, but seeing multiple cases, it's wild. I watch Hack the Boobies a lot less. I wonder why. I don't know. Dead body from the store you worked at? Which store? So I've been around a lot of dead bodies. That's the problem. I didn't expect to have so many stories about dead people. Yeah, I mean, when I was a senior in high school, I lobbied to be allowed to go to an autopsy. Talking a lot about dead guys. Yeah, I wanted to get into makeup effects back then, and I just remember Tom Savini saying that I did fake my death in high school. Yes, that was fucking funny. But I got to go to there was a story you told on Hack the Movies. I don't remember a store one. I remember the theaters. It's probably because they're still woke a lot, super famous and Dark Knight Rises. That's right. You have to remember all those things. But yeah, I got to go see an autopsy with like the Scared Straight Kids, and it was fucked up. And I was like, I don't want to ever see that again. Um, but yeah, I did fake my death in high school. I went to a hockey tournament in Florida, and I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. So I was a junior in high school, and I told all the seniors and then the sophomores these different stories, and had it kind of be whispered down the lane. Yeah, it's weird. Like, there's definitely things I don't talk about that I've been privy to because they're fucked up. And I also don't know who watches this channel. I keep finding out that people watch it. Like, if you remember on the old show, I told the story about the guy who ran headfirst into the wall. And then I told another story about him live from PA. How you doing, John? That dude was also went out on a date with my ex Christie's best friend. And she was like, if he's not a complete and total zero, I'm gonna fuck this guy tonight. And then he was a complete and total zero. But when I saw her at Christie's funeral last weekend, she was like, so you told a story about me. And I was like, oh yeah, you saw that, huh? I don't want to talk about dead people, it's just I've been around a lot of fucked up shit. Was being held gunpoint story. Yeah, I remember that one. The jealous of some of your posters. That's not even some of them. I have way more than that. The gunpoint story was crazy. The Blockbuster guy was crazy. You had a story. You had a story that was cut from Hack the Movies where you drove. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ. So that was Justin's other sister. Was addicted to drugs, and Amber, who I was dating at the time, was able to get her into a detox clinic in Delaware, and we were driving, and we got to like an Arby's parking lot. There was a red light. She jumped out of the car. I pulled into the thing and went to chase after her, and these dudes thought that I was trying to kidnap her. So these guys like pinned me up against the car and were like ready to fuck me up before somebody did something about it. That tonight's song. Somehow I don't, whatever. It's all going to. I'm glad that like I'm the most interesting person in the world, Who was the nicest person you met at cons? On the flip side, who was the meanest? I don't know. I had a really good time with Ken Foray at the Walking Dead or Living Dead weekend. The biggest dick of all of them was Goldberg, the wrestler, because we had him in for a wrestling event signing, and he was just such a miserable cunt when all the other ones were super nice, like Rey Mysterio and The Undertaker and John Cena. We had The Rock's dad in there at one point, and I'm not a wrestling guy, but I knew who they were. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if all this shit winds up over there. You should write an autobiography? Nah, I'm good. Love your streams. Always good to hear your chat. Thank you, man. Did you ask Ken Foray about Flyboy? No, but I did. I told him my story and I filmed it. So, are you taller or short? I'm 5'5". He was just a little bit taller than me. He's 5'6". Which is wild all the years that I was with Crystal, because she's like 5'8", 5'9", and I was always super tiny, but I liked when she wore high heels, Ken Foray, so when I was in third grade, I saw Dawn of the Dead for the first time on regular TV, and it freaked me out because the beginning takes place in Philadelphia, but I thought that Ken Foray was like the coolest fucking guy I had ever seen, so I started telling kids on the playground that he was my uncle, and then people are like, dude, he's clearly not your uncle. So when I met Ken Foray, I was filming and we were talking, and he's like, you can tell people that I'm your uncle. It's fine with me, So he was fucking cool. He was really nice. He's around. He's at conventions and stuff like that. I have his phone number. Thoughts on the Basket Case films? I think the first one's a lot of fun. It's super sleazy and grimy, and all the edges show. The second one is cool and different, where they go to like the house for other weird ones. The third one I'm not a huge fan of, and the effects are really low rent in that one. But the first two I think are pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, that was cool for me, man. I'm a big fan. Oh, that's cool. Missed him 2 years ago. Oh man, well yeah. Because Dawn of the Dead again is one of my. It's either it changes all the time. It's either Dawn of the Dead or Texas Chainsaw Massacre are the greatest independent horror movies ever made. Um, but yeah, I got him. I got his number, and the guy who played Dracula in Dracula versus Frankenstein. We exchange emails and stuff like that all the time because I want him to be in Vampire to play Dracula in that one. But you know, we'll see. What about Blackula? I have the poster right there. I love I love both Blackula movies actually. I think I prefer Scream Blackula Scream only because Pam Grier is in it, and I like the idea of the voodoo angle. But I think the first one is great. It's a black director. William Marshall, who went on to be the king of cartoons on Pee Wee's Big Adventure. He's so regal in the role of Blackula that, like, yes, it has things about it that have not aged well. The gay couple that buy the coffin, that has not aged well, but there's so many cool things about that movie, and it's a snapshot of Southern California in the 1970s. But I definitely prefer Scream Blackula Scream just because I like a lot of the elements in it a lot more. Oh, that's cool. Cheese, but still, oh yeah, totally cheese. They're both cheese. But William Marshall and Pam Grier both elevate the material. Thoughts on Mac and Me? I wrote all of the, yes, see, you agree. Scream Blackula Scream is a better film, but I still respect the shit out of both of them. But I'm a huge blaxploitation fan in general, and like not even in oh, it's ironic or whatever. No, like I am genuinely, as a little fucking nerdy white kid from the suburbs, have always been drawn to the styles, the music, the color of those movies, the direction of those movies, and and it's probably probably blaxploitation is not a PC term anymore, but it was the first time that like a lot of African American people that I work with were like, this is the first time that we got to be fucking heroes and shit. We got to see ourselves up there. So I think that there's something, Nude is hip hop. Oh, I love old hip hop. I grew up in the 80s with old school hip hop. I stayed with it until gangster rap, and then when it became rap, kind of became what hair metal became, where it wasn't about a message anymore. It was just about having a good time, and then I kind of lost interest in it. Shaft is awesome. Shoot is invited to the cookout. Yeah, well, I've had my share of African American girlfriends, so yes, I have a Ouija. You have that Ouija board blanket behind it. Yep, right here. And I still have Doug Walker's Ouija board in my closet. I saw Mac and Me in the theater when it came out. I did as well. I wrote all the notes for the Mac and Me episode for rental reviews. But yeah, it's an awful movie. Nuki's worse though. You're right. Doug Walker's Ouija board. Yes, don't ask me how. He brought a Ouija board to too many games, and somehow I inherited it, so I have Doug Walker's Ouija board. Who was the black girl you dated that used to be on this show? I never dated Abby, but she's been on the show. I dated a girl named Latia. I dated a girl named Brittany. Latia was half black and half Korean, and Brittany was just African American. Uses to summon Doug Walker and ask him about the wall. I've still not seen that review yet, but I've heard it's fucking terrible. I can't believe you didn't get. I never got any credit, dude. Like they allowed me to pop up in the end of episodes when they filmed at my theater, so I could promote the crowdfund that we were doing. And we never met our goal, so everybody got their money back. Yet Reddit seems to think that I stole money from people. I silenced the thing too. That was one of the notes I got last night on how I can make the channel better. Is stop doing that. Wow, I'm very popular tonight apparently. If you're watching this and you're texting me, please stop. But yeah, so I got a bunch of shit about that. Like, he didn't own a movie theater. I had a piece of the ownership group, and I ran the place. The only YouTube channel I've seen today, I've seen their stuff before. Yeah, Hollywood's never going to be calling me. I love it. It's an iconic quirk to your videos. Well, on the old show, I used to do it on purpose, though, just to piss him off. What about writing professional for the web? No credit. Yeah. And then when you think people are going to rewrite things because they have 3 months to do it, they don't, and then you get your whole life destroyed. And then they make fun of you for, a drunk caveman makes fun of you for crying because your whole life fell apart. Yeah. Did you have to sign an NDA? Yes, I did, and I'm the only one who honored it, but I'm still banned from everything. Any movies coming out later this year that you're looking forward to? I gotta look. I gotta see what's coming up. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. Like, I do the bookings for both theaters, but it's usually like a week-to-week type of thing. I was very lucky to do it anonymously. They also think you never dated the... I know, right? I love that, because if they only fucking knew, man. But that's fine, Let them have their own narrative for things. I hope so. I don't want to be bigger or better. I just want to not have to think about that stuff anymore, because it's literally every day. If it's not me doing it to myself, it's yes, the Demeter does look cool. I've been waiting for that one for a while, because at one point Alex Poyas was going to make that, and it was going to be called like Dracula Year Zero or something. I don't know. I just want to get to a point where I'm happy and confident in what I'm doing, and don't worry about those people, and they can be noise and talk all they want, but I'm over here doing my own shit with people who actually believe in me, and that's the hardest pill to swallow. What's he up to these days? I don't know. He made that like Gods of Egypt movie with all white people, and people got mad about it. Yeah, I don't know. I keep writing and planning things and doing these, and just trying to figure out when things are gonna start to go the other way. Yeah, I know. And again, it's one of those things where I have a reason that I haven't gotten over. Somebody said the other day, they're like, if you haven't gotten over something in 6 months, then you have problems. And I was like, yeah, I do have problems. I lost the love of my life. I lost my best friend, and I lost my, I lost my reputation. I don't know who these people were until I followed you through Mr. Lobo. Still don't understand the appeal. Yeah, me either. And again, it's one of those things, James and Justin and I all met the first time together. I introduced Tony to Justin. Well, not really, but kind of through other people. And I introduced Crystal to them. It's like Mr. Lobo to them. And it's, I'm like one of the Russian cosmonauts that didn't make it back. They just write me out of history. What do you remember about Y2K? I remember my dad being super nervous about it and wanting me to take off work and be with him on New Year's Eve, and I had to work. I like you both. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care if people like both. It's just there's two sides to every story, I'm back. What I missed? Not much. We're just talking about dead people. Yeah. Fucking Russians. Who first met Mike Matei? Mike was... James met Mike in college. I met James when he was kicked out of college, because that's when I was working at the movie theater and he was working at the other movie theater. I've only seen a couple of them. I almost got into a fight with a dude on New Year's Eve because he was paranoid. Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, it is written by the victors, and unfortunately, they won, and they're going to continue to win. You know, I'm not above saying I'm jealous. I'm extremely jealous. Was he dating Erin at the time? No, he only met Erin in the last few years. I'm trying to remember what the other girl's name was he was dating before that. She was a doctor. But, you know, I have nothing bad to say about Mike and Erin. They've always, you know, Mike did not like me when I first started over there. But, you know, he's a very good dude. And he and Erin both at least will reach out and see how I'm doing. I invited them both to Barbie, but they're going to be out of town because I know that she's a big Barbie fan. But I have nothing but good things to say about Mike. And same thing with Paul Truitt over at Screenwave. You know, he's a super good guy too. He's just he's in a spot where people aren't allowed to talk to me, you know. He didn't like you at first? No, not at all. He thought that I was connected to Justin's former roommate, and so he didn't like me at first. But yeah, do you think James is afraid of Ryan because he has all the money and he can pull his funding? Yeah, I agree. And the way that they do things, I think is wrong, but it works for them. They're very rich. You know, I'm not. So clearly I'm not doing it right. But when you enable people to, in certain ways, you're going to get that kind of, you know. Yeah, Mike lives far from where James lives. 'Cause I've been to James' house a couple times. And, you know, and I think Mike does better because I watch Mike's streams as much as I can. He streams for like 13 hours, and Aaron streams, and they are legitimately invested in video games. And, you know, Mike's goal was to play like every video game ever, but now he can't do that. I don't know, Horn Dog. I asked that on the day when I found out, because the day that I found out about that was also the same day that the Reddit people had kept sending Loco Bandito to invest to ads, and they had to have Mike step away from the channel because of that. So it was a long day. Bigger thing. I don't think he wants to do that stuff at all anymore. If you ask me, I think he wants to just be a dad. You know, I don't blame him for that. I have no paternal instincts, so I don't know anything about that. But, you know, I think some things, yeah. No, he has a family. He has a wife and 3 kids. Remember, I built a deck at his house and didn't get paid for it. And laid flat flooring at his rental unit as well. No, I mean, it's difficult for everybody. Trust me, if there wasn't an NDA, man, I have some stories about stuff there that, you know, but I'm not going to Kieran it up. And I don't have anybody in the background here to burp, you know. Favorite jump scare? Kristen is a real bee. His sister? Yeah. No, he doesn't. And they book way too many ads for him, and they don't tell him, and then it becomes a whole clusterfuck. They're just working him like a puppet, you know. My favorite jump scare is definitely Exorcist 3. I think that's my favorite one ever when the nun comes out. But, you know, it's better than district managing movie theaters every day, you know. You know, these guys, Tony gets to do this for a living. You know, he gets to watch movies and talk about movies. And, you know, and he gets paid for it. And now the you know, the guests on his show get paid as well from the Patreon money. I never made any money, you know, and then I was doing if you could direct a movie, what movie and what would you do different? Well, I don't know. I've got some stuff coming up I'm going to direct. I'm trying to be more. I want the camera to always be moving, and I want just more kinetic shots. Not like super artsy and anything like that, but I want to bring some kind of different energy to moving to the camera move, so it doesn't become stale of just two people talking. What's the status of the Plan 9 puppet remake? All the puppets are done. The studio's not done. There was more construction that had to go into the studio than I realized. I haven't been up there since March because I've been working my ass off. Our producer really hasn't been talking to me that much. Just periodically, he'll ask what's going on. But, if it pushes into 2024, it pushes into 2024, you know? Oh, the blinking shot of Pazuzu? Yeah, it's a cool one. But yeah, we'll get to it. I know, when the NDA expires, stand in the doorway of the BDM costume. It's one way I could do it. My favorite is Life Force. Oh yeah, Life Force is awesome. Yeah, it's weird. A Haunting in Venice, I didn't realize is one of the Murder on the Orient Express movies. I was like, oh, and Tina Fey is in it. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Ben made all of our puppets. He also made the VHS monster tapes for the movie that we shot for Heck the Movies that will never come out. But he's great. I'm going to start. All right, enjoy. That's a good one, too. Thoughts on the Highlander franchise? First one's awesome. Second one, it depends on what version you're talking about, because they had no clue which story they wanted to tell. Brilliant. Yeah, cinema. That's the whole thing. Is having a good cinematographer, makes a big difference, because I'm not technically proficient. I know what I want in my head, and I'll draw fucking stick figures and stuff like that. But like having somebody who can visualize and make that work is so important. Oh, really? That's cool. We bought Ben a sewing machine so that he could work. Sorry, a little bit faster, because he had to make 35 puppets. Vaseline, KY, or spit? Spit. It's the greatest movie ever made. Won the Academy Award. What was that? Was it Ricky Bobby? Was the one where he said the Highlander? I like the first one a lot. The two Queen songs are incredible. But yeah, and the director of Highlander also did Razorback, which is a cool movie. I want to do a body shot off Mets. Mets will definitely let you do a body shot off them. There's a place in Bordentown that gives sewing classes. I used to work in Bordentown. I used to run the hotel. I think it was a Hilton in Bordentown for a little bit when I moved back. I used to watch. Oh, there was a Highlander cartoon too, wasn't there? And then Mario Van Peebles was in one of the movies. Yeah, Highlander. That's one of those series I feel like could make a comeback. But sewing classes. I can't. I'm doing the poster inventory stuff, and I'm just ripping my hands apart with paper cuts and just getting cuts all over the place. People think I'm being abused. Have any Pittsburgh stories? I was there last year for the Living Dead weekend. It's the first time that I've really spent any time there. I had an ex-girlfriend who was taking classes at Carnegie Mellon, so I took the train to her one time, which was a nightmare. I saw the steps where they filmed the Dark Knight Rises, my least favorite Batman movie. I saw the house from Creepshow, and I saw the cemetery from Night of the Living Dead, and obviously we were guests in the mall for Dawn of the Dead. So that's my Pittsburgh story. There's a lot of weird cartoons in the 90s. I remember Siegfried and Roy had... Oh, that's right! Father of the Pride. They were trying to do like an adult, like Family Guy style one. I remember that. I mean, if I spent my life trying to remember like important things, my life would probably be a lot better, but it's just a sponge for fucking pop culture nonsense. Story of my life, man. Disconnected. Did you see Elemental? Pixar's lost it. No, I didn't see it. I wanted to. Oh, I have some Sabine stories too. But yeah, send it to me. I can spin around like a helicopter. Me too. That was actually we used to when I used to work at Screenwave. We used to go to trivia every Tuesday night, and that was one of the questions. Was what was the lineage of Sean Connery's character in Highlander, and I got it right. Roger Rabbit, the most overrated movie of all time? No, not at all. I think Roger Rabbit's brilliant. 3 had Mario Van Peebles. Okay. Remember Goof Troop? Goofy Living in the Suburbs? Yeah, wasn't there a movie too? It was like Gooftopia or something. I don't know. There was a Goofy. It was just called the Goofy movie, and it had Pauly Shore in it. The Leaning Tower of Chisa. You know what movie I should review? Sudden Death, the Die Hard at a Hockey Rink movie that Van Damme's in. Because people getting pissy that I do nothing but horror movies. So I was like, all right, I gotta try some different stuff. And then apparently Slapshot is not what the fucky enough, so I have to do stuff that's less mainstream. Yeah, I like Van Damme. He was so coked out during Street Fighter that he doesn't remember doing it. Some people have all the luck. Not me. I did too. It was a chance for me to talk about hockey stories. You know, my biggest thing is, again, like I said at the end of the Undertaker and his pals video, I was kind of trying to chase getting views for a while, and because again, I got in my head and got more jealous of Hack the Movies people, and so I was like, I wasn't doing what I set out to do on this channel, which was, who fucking cares? I'm gonna talk about whatever I want to talk about, and if you want to listen, then listen. So I need to get back to that, you know. Yeah, it is. With nearly 40. No, I appreciate that. Granted, I'm not at all ever taking any of this for granted. You know, it's like, do I wish things went differently and I still had the, you know, the audience that I had before? Yeah, that would be great. I should go full Attitude Era. But you know, I was also never going to be able to do a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do over there. I was never going to get paid for the shit that I was doing extra. So, you know, on that side, it's good that I moved on. But again, I wish I was at VHS Fest. I wish I was had almost 60,000 subscribers, but I don't, you know, and that's how we're going to be. And, you know, I don't, you know, I just need to refocus myself on the positive things, which is, yeah, there's almost 40 people in here right now, and there are people who literally give a fuck. And, you know, when they found out that Christy had passed away, people were reaching out to me, you know, that they don't know me as anything other than a fucking dude on YouTube. So, you know, I really, really appreciate that, and I'll never take that for granted. You'll never find me ditching Mets if I ever get anything bigger, because I'm loyal to a fault to people, you know. You know, and as soon as if I'm doing well, the people around me I make sure are doing well. You know, that's it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be like, I like this. I like talking to people about whatever comes up and telling stories and stuff like that. But I wouldn't want to ever be, you know, the corporate. We have to go back to just talking about what the analytics says to talk about. That's why I started hating being on the other show, because we had to talk about things I had zero fucking interest in. And that's why I was handing off episodes to other people, because I was just like, I don't have anything to say about this. Other reviewers have already said it way better than we could ever say, you know? Avatar's a joke. The second one was awful. The Edward Furlong Night of the Demons remake is kind of disappointing. I like the cast though, but the original one is so great. NEWT should refer to himself. NEWT's becoming a really big YouTuber. I mean, NEWT's like on the up and up. No, I hate that. Because people on, you know, again, There's that dude who writes that gamer girl blog that people keep fucking sending me. I thought it went away and I was happy, and then it came back. But like, apparently I'm an egomaniac who makes everything about me, and I didn't actually ever love Christy. I'm using it for internet clout and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, you look at these people and you just go like, what's going on in your life that you're so fucking obsessed? Hello, good night. I don't know, we're streaming. Yeah, man, we just dropped on real quick. Start referring to yourself even off YouTube. I should. Do you hate the cartoon Ned's Nude? I don't know what that is. How am I doing? I'm all right. I got done work early, so decided to stream. Look, that's what the internet is for. It's for everybody has an opinion, but opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Some are just shittier than others. But like, you don't know me. I don't know you. I would never say those kind of things about people. You want to call me a plagiarist? Fine. I fucking plagiarized script, because I was put in a position that was bad. Sorry. I spoke very poorly to Crystal. I hurt Tony's brand when all that shit happened. Yes, they go talk about that. But there's a lot of shit that I did that wasn't plagiarized that, I've done for people. Yeah, I get that. And and again, I've told people over and over again, stop telling me about it. Stop bringing it to me. I don't care. I've blocked Reddit on my fucking laptop. Think if you stole, yeah, exactly. And it's funny because I had his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend is my friend, Cammie. His current girlfriend was originally my assistant at Screenwave, and I didn't like her from the jump. Chick had more problems in a math book, but then when I started doing production stuff more, she moved into the gaming thing because I was the head of the games department, but I know nothing about video games. They basically just wanted me to go in and fire everybody and redo things. And then once I was fired, they turned around to all those people and been like, yeah, NEWT did it. My ex, Latia, her little brother worked for us on the social media team, and I was flat out told to fire him. And then when I did, they blamed me for it. Did she at least get your coffee order right? No, I never asked for anything. She also got in a fight at too many games. But again, I'm banned. No, again, it was a lot of doing other people's work. And when I brought that up, because, I don't know if I've told the story about... I missed the date. Yeah, exactly. I miss when it was just people, and there wasn't all this shitty stuff around it. Yeah, but I did. I remember the very first week I was working at Screenwave was the weekend of the Super Bowl, the year that the Buccaneers won it. And everybody was at Justin's apartment and they were drinking and stuff like that. And I came over late, and Kieran went outside and ripped the license plate off somebody's car, and I took a picture of it, and I was told, don't put that online because we don't want people to know about this stuff. And I was like, oh, there's a problem. Yeah, no, his girlfriend did most of that, and there were literally... whatever. He could tell his version of the fucking story, and did I leave people in a lurch on some stuff? Yeah, I definitely did. But, being allowed not to come to work on Mondays because you were too drunk from Sparkade on Sunday, just vanishing for periods of time, it's just fucking lame that they'll go and talk shit on me. And then if I say anything back, they'll threaten me with a fucking lawsuit. Oh, I know. I heard it. Yep. And then they put me in the office and I cried. And yeah, I did, because I had a fucking nervous breakdown. But they also let me work 4 straight 16-hour days, completely unload all of the U-Haul trucks, and completely rearrange the fucking, the warehouse, then drive Doug Walker and Brad Jones to meet James at a vegan restaurant. And when I got back, they fired me because I was doing everybody's work for them. Again, I should have been fired. Yes, I fucked up. I made a mistake. No, it was because it's wrong. If you want to be a writer, it's wrong. The biggest thing was my biggest mistake was thinking that things would be rewritten, and my not checking was my biggest mistake, because plugging things in that, when things sound too much like you plug things in that weren't. I shouldn't have done that, but I also should have checked. And so I agree. I deserve to be fired. The way that things went down after that were fucked up. The way that things led into it. But again, a sociopath, a person with personality disorders, blames everyone else for the mistakes that they made. That's not me. And despite what Reddit says, I've apologized. I've told the truth. I've lowered myself to the point where, I don't have any for Q&A either. Yeah. Off to bed. Good night, man. You only reappropriated facts. Yes. No, I was told that the scripts sounded too much like me, so I plugged in lines from things, and, they didn't, but again, having a vegan water, but again, I messed up. I knew that was wrong, and I did it anyway. And I'm not going to blame everything else that was going on, because there was a lot of other things going on, and I was falling a fucking part. But again, I didn't say stop. I didn't say no. I was scared to lose my job already, so it didn't matter in the end. It was just the what happened after it, and how everybody just kind of separated themselves from the entire situation. So it was focused on me, and that's the part that hurt the most, because then I was just falling for months and months and months after that. I was just falling because I had people who were reaching out to me who I knew from Hack the Movies watched. They were saying, hey man, if you need anything, let me know. And I would talk to them, and then they would go and repost it on Reddit and just cause me more problems, Yeah. And they have unlisted the apology video. I never watched the apology video. I just heard parts of it. Hate to ask this, but you just get, I know, because I was at the Anthony Wayne for 8 years, and the owner is more of a father figure to me than my real father. And I felt really bad leaving, but I thought that leaving would be a good step in the right direction in creating things. I was trying to win Crystal back. I was trying to, move out of South Jersey and all that kind of stuff. And I thought this would be a chance. And I was scared to, that's why I was working certain shifts on weekends at the theater still, after I quit, just to stay connected in some way. But I was scared to fail. I knew if I said this is too much, I was going to get shit on over there anyway. So it was really a no-win situation. But I was scared that I stepped into something and I was going to fail there. And on a lighter note, are you going to be at Blobfest this weekend? No, unfortunately. Again, other people are going to be there, so they don't want me there, so I'm not going to go. But yeah, the Drunk Kim. Yeah. And that was the biggest thing, is it needs to sound, and that was the only time I ever got mad was, it needs to sound like him. I said, well, then why doesn't he fucking write it then? I believe them. Yeah, I know Sean probably does. I don't know about Joe, but whatever. Again, Joe I introduced him to all those people, you know. Even at the Joe Bob event, he got all pissy that he wasn't top billed for the short that I wrote and produced and cast and all that kind of stuff. So I said, I don't care, man. Fine, you're top. Good. You know. Oh, thank you, man. That's very nice of you. I don't know. It's I want this stuff can't last forever. You know. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. You know, I don't have a mortgage. You know, I rent an apartment. I have a cat, and I work a bunch because I have no social life. I'm between 3 different theaters. You know, no, nothing does last forever, and eventually there'll be a tipping point for the relationships with those people over there, and you know, you know, I went and I looked at their view count recently just to kind of piss myself off, and I didn't feel that bad. You know. Never work with friends and family if you can. You never work with somebody else. Yeah, I mean, you know, I consider Crystal to be family. But I consider Justin to be family. You know, you find out, you know, things and people find out things about you that you tell them in private, and it just became one of those things, you know, and it was like, maybe it's good in the long run to be flushed out of people's systems and they can go on and live their lives or not live their lives. And I go on and do my thing. And maybe at one point the seed is planted in somebody's head. They're like, oh shit, like, look what he's doing over there. That's pretty fucking cool. You know? Yeah. You know, and I can't afford ads. I can't afford bots or anything like that. What I get is what I get. Sometimes we'll get a review that gets 200 views. And sometimes we'll get a review that gets 10,000 views. I don't fucking know how YouTube works, you know? I'm just trying to be myself every time, be open with shit, talk about shit. You know, you guys are basically witnessing my mental health journey, basically, you know? I kind of wish I still had the Ghostbusters Afterlife video that I shot just to kind of see, the Bud Light video has 180,000 views. And that was totally just a fucking called Mets on the way to my apartment and said, hey, can you pick me up a Bud Light? And they were like, wait, what? And I said, I have an idea, you know? You never know. You never know. And, you know, it would be cool to have something break out and get a bunch of subs and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I know you guys are. I don't, you know. Exactly. Yeah, it's weird. It's all like, because when I first started doing videos, my Matrix review, because I got it out early, got like 22,000 views, nearly 50 in here. Oh, I didn't even look. That's pretty cool. How much money did you get from the Bud Light thing? Not much. I don't make much off ads at all. Like, I think like I'll make like $100 a month or something like that. Yeah, I remember when the adpocalypse happened. We were doing Underbelly still at the time. But you know, I whatever money I make, I just take Mets out to eat or buy drinks, or like we'll give gas money because that's all I can really give right now. Like, you know, they should. And I've had Fandango gave me $100 to do a cinema day thing, which I did. My friend Liz paid me to promote her guitar straps. I did that. But I was like, I feel bad asking people for money because, again, I'm fucking sitting at a kitchen table or I'm sitting in my living room. It's not exactly high art, you know? You buy a NEWT can, that'd be awesome. And then people don't know if they should boycott or not because they're like, who is this guy? Hey, what's going on, man? I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy that I get to do this. I'm happy that I stayed with it because I was going to stop. You know, after the Ghostbusters review, I took down. Oh wow! Well, that was a good episode too. You know, and Mystics in Bali is just a fun movie to watch. Have you ever watched The Bear? Which one? The one about the bear, or the one with Danny DeVito? Jack the Bear or something like that. Hey everyone, what's going on, Winterfell? How you doing? people in the Discord said, "Are you going to stream?" So I decided to stream. Been at it for about 2 hours now. Yeah, it's so weird what breaks through and what doesn't break through. Our fucking way back in the day, I put that Andy Reid video together where we did that parody of the Taylor Swift song. That thing went super viral, and I don't know how. Like, I shot it in an afternoon at an Philadelphia Eagles, tailgate party, and we had to keep moving so the cops didn't get us. Yeah, I don't know. High art. No, it's true. And that's my biggest thing is because I used to love Red Letter Media before all the Monster Madness stuff happened. I used to watch them religiously, but then they made fun of me, so I unsubscribed to them and stuff. But yeah, most people who are doing reviews now, like the Critical Drinker, whatever he's called, those guys are just miserable for the sake of being fucking miserable, and that's fine. If your viewing practices are, I want to be shitty and edgelord stuff, that's fine. But then I feel like you're not really paying attention to the movie. And I'm in this place where I love sitting down in a darkened movie theater. And like, when I say my theater, Reddit, I mean the theater that I run. It's not mine, but I say my theater. I don't own this building, but this is my apartment, Hate just to hate is popular. Yeah, exactly. You can't review that because Nostalgic Critic's not done it yet. Oh, true. Okay. Ed Wood, yes. We don't have a permit. Run. And I think that I have, I had good chemistry with him on the other show. And I don't know where that came from, but I've been able to do that with pretty much everybody. You sit down, you embrace other people's personalities, and you try your best to heard from Met today. No, unless they were on the Discord. I was working all day today. Never liked Red Letter Media. I really did. I thought that their Plinkett reviews were brilliant. When I discovered them, I'm the one who introduced. I'll never forget. We were filming the Pokemon episode at my mom's house back for Underbelly, and I found the Red Letter Media Star Wars review, and I showed it to Justin for the first time. I never watched Cinema Sins, but I don't know. Like, there's some, there are. Teenage Crack. Yeah, that got no buzz whatsoever. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. And guess what? Like, I ranted about Avatar. All right, that was me being shitty. But there are going to be times you're going to rant about stuff, But it's like, if you just talk about movies that you like, it's different. Now, it's a mixed bag. If I review a new movie in my car or something like that, which I was told I'm ripping off Brad Jones, I was like, no, I just was sitting in my car. But I did love the reviews that they used to do. Watching wrestling on voice chat the other night. Nice. Transformers. Yeah, the new one, I put that review up way early, and Transformers fans were not happy with me that I didn't know the characters' names and the mythos. I was like, I'm just not a fan, Avatar was justified. Yeah, it was awful. It was totally fucking awful. I'm gonna have to join one of your guys' voice chats one night. I keep waking up and seeing all the messages and stuff. I feel like I'm missing out on hanging out with the cool kids, but I tend to be sleeping. Let's do a GoBots reboot. That'd be good. Well, I found out today because of Barbie, Mattel has optioned Boglins, and back in 2016, I wrote the Boglins screenplay with Tim Clark, who created Boglins, but the movie never went anywhere, and now it's in the hands of a big studio. But that was cool. That was one of the coolest things ever, when the guy who created a toy you loved as a kid asked you to help him write the screenplay. That was fucking wild. And I thought I did a pretty good job with it. I made a kid-friendly creep show. But never got made. I should rewrite the entire thing and call them the Spoopies. instead of the Boglins. Yeah, those are great. Hobots, that'd be me. Are you gonna grow out the beard? No, I literally realized that I forgot to buy shaving cream on my way home, and I was like, son of a bitch, so I couldn't shave. We need a 3-hour Mission Impossible Part 1 or a double bill. Yeah, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it Sunday night, so hopefully it's good. You can't even review a car. I know. Well, I mean, bearded newt. No, it doesn't grow in properly. It grows in all white trashy where it doesn't connect, like Joe Dirt. Yeah. Well, again, it's I like when they tell me that I've ripped off everything, and then I think about these other YouTubers who they like, and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot that. Did James create Chop Top? Did James create Bugs Bunny? Or those are his? He invented those, Still looking for funding of my Back to the Future porn parody trailer. Well, they did that. Fap to the Future, Wood Rocket did it because for a while they were trying to pay Crystal and I to do reviews, and people didn't want to do things, so it never happened. Hide the sideburns; it's iconic. I don't know. Every time I grow out the sideburns, some people like them and some people make fun of me for them. So, are you gonna dress up for the Barbie movie? I should. I should dress as Ken. I saw it yesterday. I fucking loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Oh yeah, that guy. He always wears his glasses because you can tell that he's reading the script. But no, I like his videos. You should cast Joey Wallen in a short. It's still coming back. I don't know where he is. I haven't heard anything from him for a while, so I don't know if he's moving in here or not. But no, I like that guy. He does like facts about movies and stuff like that, and he has a positive attitude. And not everything has to be positive. Again, some things can be ripping into stuff, but Bear Back to the Future is great. That'd be fucking awesome. That's good. How did he set off a real nuke? I'm interested to see how that shakes out. I want to see this movie, but I'm worried that it's going to be super pretentious. Used to review Axel Braun movies. So it's funny. That's true. At least I'm not HIV positive. I call it the high five or the ninja because it sneaks up on you. I helped Tommy Gunn, who's an adult film actor. He's from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I'm from Marlton, New Jersey. And he found out he watched Underbelly and he saw that I was a big comic book guy. So he's like, "Hey, I'm doing this Wolverine thing. Can you help me with that?" So I helped him with coming up with like how Wolverine's voice would be and stuff like that because he didn't want to do the Hugh Jackman thing. So I got a special thanks in like This Ain't Wolverine or whatever the fuck it was called. Yes, he is. Yep. Yeah, he was. It was just funny when I found out that he was from New Jersey. Every time I find out these people are from New Jersey, I think on IMDb I'm like the 6th most famous person from my hometown of Marlton, so that's kind of cool. Cast Jack Nicholson in his last film. That'd be cool. Oh, really? Okay. My family is from that area. Did he not do the? Well, wasn't he had in the Pride of the X-Men? He had the Australian voice, even though he was Canadian. And then they cast an Australian for the live action one. It's an hour too long. That was like when I watched The Irishman. I was like 30 minutes into this movie. It's an hour too long. Did he play Knifey Spoony? Oh, I see you played Knifey Spoony before. Be ear. Don't tell Jack you love his work. I think any YouTube channel has anything original. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like, why did Crash win Best Picture? Good question. Because I don't think that movie's that great. Hey, Prime. Hey, Andy. I love that episode. Yeah, that's such a great episode when they go to Australia. Is he? He's back in stuff? I didn't realize that Josh Hartnett was working again. I think the last thing I remember seeing him in was that movie with uh, Harrison Ford, where they're detectives. Best Matthew Lillard movie. SLC Punk, hands down. It's a great movie. Oh, he's in Oppenheimer. That's cool. I haven't seen any of the modern Black Mirror, but I really like that show. And that's why when Jordan Peele did the remake of Twilight Zone, I was like, why? There's no point. Like, it's Black Mirror. Nostalgia Critic did a review as Raoul Duke. Just have AVGN rip him off the whole decade later. Yeah. I mean, granted, when James started, he was. Did I see SLC Punk? Oh, I didn't even know SLC Punk 2 was a thing. How do you feel about being sexualized? I wish I was sexualized on YouTube. But I'm also very cautious of Mets too, because they are an exhibitionist, not to not so that people don't cross the line, but I think they can handle themselves, I agree that Tales from the Crypt needs a reboot. At one point, remember M. Night Shyamalan was going to do it for TNN or something, TNT, something like that. You want to write a cop show? Read and watch a lot of documentaries about police so you get the terminology right. That was the one thing that bugged me the most about writing the wrestling script, which I'm not part of anymore. I knew nothing about wrestling, so I just watched all these documentaries about wrestling to kind of get a better idea of terminology and stuff like that, just so I could frame it myself in my mind's eye of what it would be. Thoughts on the Creature series on Shudder? I liked some episodes. I really liked the one with the werewolves and the Nazis. That one was pretty dope. There's been a couple good ones, but there's also been a couple really shitty ones. And when it comes to screenwriting stuff, I take pages and pages and pages of notes and just random ideas. And my favorite book. I don't know. I tend to go back and read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Repair a lot. Native Son I've read a few times. Dracula, Frankenstein, The Portrait of Dorian Gray, The Stand. I don't know. My tastes are kind of all over the place. Go set downs. Yeah, true. I mean, I did you watch the Stunt Granny? No, I didn't know that was a thing. I was talking to our guy Ian the other night about the Bret Michaels, the Bret Hart one, the Dark Side of the Ring show, the Jake the Snake one, and stuff like that. Do I think the Hobbit movies would have worked better if they were edited like the books? Yes, there was too many of them, and it was just, it was like TV in public. It was the frame rate was bleh. That's a good one, and I didn't realize that even existed until I was told about it from somebody from the old show, one of the comments, and I picked it up, and it was great. I love vampire shit, so They Live or Princess Bride is best movie to feature a wrestler. I mean, I gotta go Andre the Giant. I was such a fan of him my whole life. Hopefully someone sends you money for the stream where you and Mets read Prison Erotica and deep dive. I want to do so. My plan during my plan during Pride Month was to read 1-star reviews of gay bars in small towns and with Mets, but that didn't wind up happening. I thought that'd be a really funny idea. Favorite book is still Watership. Yeah, that's a good one too. I haven't read that in a long, long time. Oh, and man, I'm still reading your the script you sent me. Don't think I forgot. It's just taking me a long time because I got 50 million things going, but I am liking it so far, and I've been taking notes. Let's go 10 hours tonight? No, I got work at 9 a.m., so I'm probably going to sign off in a couple minutes. Yeah, and he had to do that on an airplane too, and they said it made everyone sick. It's just wild that a dude like that is born. You know, it's like he's bigger than life in every single way. It's just crazy to think that like someone could have those genetics because I'm 5'5". You know. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna go get ready for work tomorrow. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and we'll do this again on Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out because I had nothing else to do tonight, and I'm glad that people popped in and we told stories and shit like that. So, and then we'll wait and see when all this pops up on Reddit again. And so, all right, guys. Good night.